Hey guys, so welcome back, and this video is really impromptu. I don't have my mic on, so I hope you can hear me well, and I've got you balanced on a pot, so I'm not sure the angle looks great. Can't really see very good because it's super bright out here and it's about 80 degrees in the greenhouse. But I wanted to share with you 3 items that I will not be growing this year and why I'm not growing them. And one of them is going to surprise you. So number 1 is potatoes. I will put up a couple pictures of our successful potato harvest over on this side of the screen. And the reason we will not be growing potatoes this year are 3 reasons actually. So number 1 is the price of seed potatoes. So right now seed potatoes are double if not triple the cost, actually almost triple the cost, what they were when we originally started our garden 5 years ago. So for the price of potatoes and the amount of space they take up, that's number 2. So they take up a ton of space. Potatoes are one of the items that take up the most space in our garden the years that we do grow them. And unfortunately, yes, you do get a large return. But the 3rd reason we're not growing them is just for our family. So again, gardening is very personal. So we are not growing them because for the amount of potatoes we eat throughout the year, it is not cost efficient for us to purchase the seed potatoes, take up that much space in our garden for the cost of a bag of potatoes at the grocery store. So instead, this year we're going to be buying our potatoes. It's not exactly ideal, but because we're not using our large bulk garden area this year, and we're just using the small garden out here in front of the greenhouse, sadly, we won't be growing potatoes. Number 2 is eggplants. So I will put a couple pictures up on this side of the screen of our successful and beautiful eggplant harvest. Last year we had more eggplants than we knew what to do with, and my favorite thing to do with eggplants, this is just kind of a little tip thrown in there, is slice them up probably about 1/2 inch thick, bread them, and put them in the freezer on a sheet pan, and then once they're fully frozen you can put them in Ziploc bags. But that is the quickest, most delicious way to cook them. You pop them in the oven or the air fryer, and you can make eggplant parmesan in the winter in 10 minutes with fresh eggplants that you grew. I love growing eggplants. However, a couple of the reasons we're not growing them. 1, again, space, because we're using our smaller garden and not everybody in my family likes eggplants. That is one of the reasons. Number 2. So reason number 2, not only do they take a long time, and they grow a lot like peppers. So if you saw in the pictures that I put up, they basically grow like a pepper does. And for what we eat and what I would like to grow in our new smaller space for this season, I am going to be replacing our eggplant area with peppers, because peppers are going to be something that we utilize more over eggplants. And for number 3, and I'm super sad about this because we've grown this every year that we've lived here, is broccoli. So I'm going to put up a couple pictures of our successful, gorgeous broccoli harvests. So unfortunately, I am super sad that we will not be growing broccoli this year. Broccoli is one of my favorite things to grow. However, if you've ever grown broccoli or you've ever grown any type of brassica, things like kale, cauliflower, cabbage, the worms and the moths love it. And unfortunately, last year we noticed a huge spike in those pests, and they seem to really go after our broccoli. So reason number 1 is pest control. We're going to try and cut down on broccoli to hopefully move out of the phase of having the amount of moths and worms that we did like last year. Number 2 is, yes, they take up a lot of space, but we also found 2 alternatives that my kids also like that we can grow in place of those. So my son's favorite vegetable is broccoli. If I ever ask the kids what they want for dinner, I always ask them what vegetable they want to go with dinner, and my son always says broccoli. And so when I ask my kids what they want for dinner, he will always say broccoli. And he likes it boiled, he likes it roasted, he just loves broccoli. He'll eat it raw. He'll eat it with some dressing, loves it. So I had to find an alternative that I could grow where the pests wouldn't bother it as much, but he would still like it. And we settled on broccoli's cousin. So we are growing cauliflower. He was a little apprehensive about it. It's a little crunchier. However, we can also use it in more ways than we can broccoli. So like I said, he likes broccoli roasted. He likes it boiled. He'll eat it raw. He also found out that he really likes cauliflower raw with dressing. We tried roasted cauliflower. He loved that. We've done cauliflower steaks on the grill. Those were delicious. Another one is buffalo cauliflower or barbecue cauliflower, where you bread it kind of like you would chicken, and then you just add your sauce like you would to a buffalo chicken or a barbecue chicken. And the kids really loved that. So this year we are growing cauliflower because we found that the bugs didn't bother it nearly as bad as last year. In fact, Cauliflower was probably one of our least pest-ridden vegetables that we grew. Another one, I always grow green cabbage. I will continue to grow green cabbage no matter how many pests we have, because as you can see, I love green cabbage. These are just a couple pictures of successful harvests we've had, and I make a lot of sauerkraut. We eat a lot of sauerkraut. But I did find that the worms and moths seemed to not bother our red cabbage as much. So unfortunately, I don't grow the red cabbage. I will take you guys along when we go up the road to our local greenhouse and when we purchase some of that. So I'm going to take you guys along probably in a couple videos from now, and we're going to head up the road to our local greenhouse and purchase some of their red cabbage. That's where I always get it from. I really like to support them. I usually buy a couple things, some other colored petunias versus the ones that I'm growing here, and again, red cabbage. So I'll take you guys along when we go do that. The pests did not bother the red cabbage nearly as much as they did the green, and that's another reason that we're growing that. Okay, it's getting super toasty in here, so I had to open the door, but as always, thank you guys for watching. I will continue to take you along as we grow stuff in the greenhouse and inside. I still have my tomatoes and peppers in while the temperatures are dipping down low out here, and I will see you guys next video.